Good morning. We are live in the studio at GMT Radio, hosting our Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce Let's Talk Business podcast. And I am so excited to introduce to you our guests for today. We have in the studio with us Miss Rhonda Gray of Rhonda Gray Training Center, and also Mr. Brandon Edwards with
Bayou City Operations.
Bayou City Operations.
Yes.
Thank you, Brandon. So we're excited to be here. We have these two special guests that are going to tell us about what they do. Really exciting. So before we get started, I want to first thank our sponsors, which are Southwest Airlines and Amico Federal Credit Union. So as we get started this morning, tell us a little bit about yourself. And we'll just start right there. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, Rhonda with RGTC Mobile Lab Service. Started out as Rhonda Gray Training Center. We started out basically with phlebotomy services and DOT, drug testing collection classes. Okay. And then we just expanded out as far as opening up a mobile lab service. Since I was a phlebotomist at that time, I decided to expand out and open my own mobile lab service instead of me actually working for someone else doing it.
Yes.
So now it's full force.
Okay.
DOT drug testing. We go out to patient homes and do mobile lab services, any type of blood work, specialty kits, notary, background checks. Just began to start doing the fingerprinting. We're waiting. Actually, that's something coming soon. Haven't started it yet, but it's in the making.
Okay.
Just a little bit of everything you can get from us.
That's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes.
So you went from working for to you being the boss lady.
Yes. Yes.
How
yes.
exciting is
yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay, Brandon.
Like I say, Brandon with Bayou City Operations. We're actually doing business now as Bayou City Fingerprinting. For myself, I started off kind of just doing mobile notary a couple years ago, and then I've always kind of wanted to do fingerprinting. Kind of got sparked by having to get fingerprinted myself, and then from that, looking into adding as a service line, did some research, and then got started around October, November of 19 of offering the services.
Okay.
We provide traditional ink and live scan fingerprinting services to where we can provide FBI background checks with the FBI, where you can get your report within normally 4 to 24 hours. We also do employment and tenant screening services, as well as we do drug testing as well.
Okay.
We don't do anything mobile with that, but we do have some partnership labs that we're able to send people to. And then we also provide, let's say, the mobile notary. We still provide that, and our fingerprinting services are provided mobilely as well if needed be.
Okay. So as far as your mobile notary service, is it just like the mobile notary stamp, or are you that's a question for both of you guys. Are you certified notary signing agents, or do you just provide the notary services where you just stamping?
Like general notary.
Just general notary work. Okay.
So we provide both.
Okay.
I am an NSA signing agent as
Okay.
well. But it's even though you're not, like, you can be certified as an NSA or not, and you can still do loan signings, documents. But it's best that you are certified and have the training, to provide the services. But any notary can do either one, as long as they, are certified or commissioned in the state.
Yes. Okay. Did you want to add anything to that, Rhonda? Or? No. Okay. So let me ask you, what type of clientele does your services provide? What type of clientele does your services provide, and what's your target? Who's your target?
My target is mainly oil fielders, employment, any type of employment as far as, let me get it.
Yeah.
Refineries,
Okay.
physician offices, basically anyone that's needing drug testing, especially logistic companies, transportation. We're mainly targeting that stream. because they're in high demand for it.
Yes, very much so.
Mhm.
We talked about
Mhm.
that a little bit
Yes,
earlier coming up
yes,
to the
yes.
studio, how
Yes.
demanding and lucrative the trucking industry is.
Mhm.
So, Brandon, you want to add to that as far as your clientele and your target for your companies?
Sure. So, for the mobile notaries, for the notary services, different law offices are title companies as well. Those are the ones that are in control of, assigning who the notary would be for different documentations and things like that need to
Okay.
be notarized. On the fingerprinting and background check side, anyone that's hiring employees,
Okay.
we can provide the employment screening services for them, as well as, like I say, people that go from the small business owner up to a corporation that
Okay.
maybe manage rental properties, and they want to
Okay.
make sure that the tenants are on the up and up before they rent them the property. We're able to provide those checks for them. We're also able to do the checks for with the fingerprinting for FINRA. There's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. So anyone that's like an investment banker, someone that's dealing with 401ks or financial advisors and things of that nature, they all have to be fingerprint background checked. And so applying to providing services for companies that offer those services, those are our key clients, as well as nonprofit organizations that may be dealing with sending children in, sending their volunteers or workers into schools and stuff like that. They need to be background checked to make sure that everything's safe for them to go into these environments. So it's a number of clients that we can service. Anyone that wants to make sure that their employees or volunteers are safe and able to go out into maybe people's homes or whatever the case may be. That's our potential clients and customers.
That's exciting. How did you get into fingerprinting? What was it what was your defining moment for you to see, like, this is something? What was that? What was that like?
Wow. It's okay. So I always knew it was kind of something, right? But I never really knew. But I'm gonna tell you what it was.
Tell me what it was. Tell us what it was.
I flew to New York. The company I partnered with, I flew to New York and I seen their operation, and I was like, "There's no way that fingerprinting can provide this type of revenue services for a private company." And after that, I was sold. I mean, it was a very welcoming visit from them, and got to see how the flow of the customers coming through, the flow of the background IT tech side, the marketing side, everything, kind of getting a piece of everything, and then being able to, like I say, see how, I mean, they have a location in Manhattan that fingerprints over 300 people a day.
Wow.
In downtown Manhattan. So I was like, all right, I'm in this. I'm really here, so let's get it. And so that was that aha moment for me.
Okay.
And then ever since then, it's just continuously been building upon with me researching the industry and finding out about competitors and the room for growth that they have, especially in the Texas area, is amazing, because the biometric industry is pretty much dominated by what is called FBI channelers. So they're like the big dogs that have a direct contract with the FBI. And so a lot of these companies are even global. So for the small guys, there's a lot of opportunity for us to really grow and put our footprint on it as well, and be able to provide some different ideas that maybe they haven't been doing over the years. So
how exciting is that?
Yes, ma'am.
How exciting is that? Rhonda, you talk a little bit about the same question. What was your aha moment? What was it that you were currently doing that made you see bigger?
Just people in general would ask me about the phlebotomy, because it all started with the phlebotomy part.
Okay.
And I said, well, I have my instructor, and that was from a hospital that I actually worked for. They gave me determination because I went with them. I started with them for about 3 months, and in 6 months I was already instructing their med tech students, because it was a university. And my supervisor seen the potential, and she seen the strength, and it went from there, and that's how I got my instructor license to teach phlebotomy, and I just kept it going. And when I moved here to Texas, I started getting phone calls, and just people that didn't have a certification, they always wondered, I'm doing the job, but I'm not certified. And you do it so well. How is it so easy? How do you do those different techniques? And I would go back and I would just say, hey, it comes with the job. Okay. Everybody comes in differently. I might not tie that tourniquet like they show you on TV, but you got to have your own way of your technique of doing things, and it makes it more smoother for you. And I kept going on, and then just working in general, missing out on a lot of things with my daughter. She used to dance, so okay. I'm like, I'm working. I can't be at the football games, and that would inspire me to go for what you know. And that's how the mobile lab service came into part. And I was like, okay, I can make my own hours. Yes. I can actually have people contract through me and work these hours, so I can be at those games and spend time with my girls. And now here I am.
Wow, that is pretty exciting. That's pretty exciting. You know, for you, Brandon, when you talked about seeing this whole thing, like almost like in 3D, right?
Yeah.
You're in New York and you see it and you're like, wow. And then for you, you know, as a mom and being good at what you do, and for somebody to see in 3 short months, you got something special, you know, and then for you to just take the ball and run with it, you know, instead of just staying right there, because it just says that you wanted more, you saw more, you know, and so I think that's huge for us as being in this small business industry, because as you talked about, Brandon, putting our footprint on something, you know, which leads to legacies and leaving something for our children and those things. I think that's really, really important. I know we talked about you both having mobile industry, mobile companies, business. Tell us if you have. Are you strictly mobile, or do you have a brick and mortar office locations? And if so, where are you located? Tell us about your website, stuff like that.
Okay. I'm actually both. I'm mobile, and I also have a brick and mortar. We're in Texas City based, but we travel. I have 4 ladies that work for me. They're all contractors, so if one is not able to go out to do the mobile service, we also have someone in office to actually do the services too. Now, 2 of my ladies, they're strictly for the lab services and the DOT services. Well, not DOT, but just drug testing, period. I have one person that does the background checks besides me, and the fingerprint that she's actually going to be trained on doing as well. But that's what she strictly does, nothing else. But the rest of us, like me, I'm multitasking. I can do all of it. So as far as patients, they have the choice. We can go to their homes, or not just patients only. And I keep saying patients because I'm so used to just working in office and saying patients, but patients, individuals, anyone can just call and set up an appointment. You can either come in or we can come to you.
Okay. And where are you located?
Texas City.
What's the address?
25th Avenue North, Suite 109.
Okay. And your website?
It's rgtcmobillabservice.com.
Okay, so you all heard that, right? RGTC Mobile Lab Services. Am I saying that correctly? And she's located in Texas City, Texas. And tell us the address one more time, kind of slowly. Because we're writing it down, right? You know, because we're writing it down. You know how you call and they're saying you can reach us on our website. And you have to call 3 times to get it because they were talking so fast. So yeah, tell us again your physical address and then your website.
It's 25th Avenue North, Texas City, Texas, Zip code 77590.
Okay.
Website is www. Did I say too many W's?
No.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah.
But it's www.rgtcmobilelabservice.com.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Thank you, ma'am. And you, Brandon?
So yes, I also provide mobile services, and we do have a brick and mortar location.
Okay.
We have a location in Katy.
Okay.
That location address is 1303 Bear Hunters Drive, Katy, Texas 77449. We also just opened a new location about a month ago, right here in River Oaks on Kirby Drive.
Okay.
We are at 3730 Kirby Drive, Houston, Texas 77098. The hours of each location is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do also accept walk-ins, but you may have to wait a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get you in and out pretty quickly.
Okay.
And as far as our mobile services, you know, we travel everywhere. If you want us to come, we'll go. You know, as long as it makes sense for both parties. So yeah, we go everywhere throughout the whole Texas, and if you need to go to bordering states or other places, we'll go there too.
Okay.
All our equipment is mobile as well.
Okay.
So it comes with me, and we can make it happen when we get to you. So.
Okay. And your website?
Oh, sorry. So BayouCityOperations.com. Also, we're doing a name change, so we doing business now as Bayou City Fingerprinting.
Okay.
So you can even type in BayouCityFingerprinting.com, and you'll be able to pull us up on either website.
Okay, so what we have here today is fingerprinting, drug testing. Help me, guys.
Training.
Training, the phlebotomy.
Yes.
I mean, and so that is pretty exciting. So if you're in need of fingerprinting, drug testing, training, phlebotomy, look no further. We have Brandon, who is in the Katy and the River Oaks area, and then we have Miss Rhonda, who is in Texas City, so which is Galveston County. Hey, which is Galveston County, and so we're here to. They are here. Listen to me like I'm part of the company.
Yeah, you with us?
Okay.
Yes. All in this together.
Yeah. So you have a need, and they provide the need for you. So make sure you check them out. Check out their website, Bayou City Fingerprinting and RGTC Lab and RGTC Mobile Lab Services. Okay, Bayou City Fingerprinting and RGTC Mobile Lab Center. Service. Okay. Wow, that's exciting. Fingerprinting, drug testing, and there is such a need for that right now. Even when you think about logistics in the trucking industry, and we were talking about a little bit earlier with being in the trucking industry and having your drivers, so they have to be tested and they have to be fingerprinted and all those things, and so before they get behind the wheel,
Right.
and so you can definitely look up Bayou City Fingerprinting and RGTC Mobile Lab Services for those. If you're in the trucking industry, if you own a trucking service and you're needing drivers to be tested, be sure to look up Bayou City Fingerprinting. I'm going to get this. Bayou City Fingerprinting and RGTC Mobile Lab Services. They will definitely service what you need to get your drivers tested so that they can get on the road, so that you'll know that they are safe, that they are safe drivers. Also, we want to pause for a moment and again thank our sponsors, Southwest Airlines, as well as Amico Federal Credit Union, and also GMT Radio. We are in the studio live with GMT Radio. If you're needing commercials, you're needing any type of media services for your business, Nice. We call him Nice, and that name is so befitting to him. He can make you look like a star on here, I promise you. Call him or go to his website at gmtradio.com. That's www.gmtradio.com. gmtradio.com. And that's for you that are needing commercials or any type of media events or services. GMT Radio is the place to be. So be sure to check him out as well. Also, we're here with representing Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce on our Let's Talk Business podcast. Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, where we are one chamber that services 4 regions, and we are in 12 counties. And I always stick my chest out when we say that, because that is huge. We're unlike any chamber of commerce. We are the largest geographical chamber in Texas, and that we service 12 counties. Now, who else does that? Nobody else does that. So if you're looking for a chamber of commerce, if you're looking to grow and expand your business and you just kind of really don't know how, if you're wanting to start your business but you just don't really know where to go, and I say all the time that we're not your ordinary chamber, in that we're hands-on. We're gonna answer the phone. You won't get a, if you're trying to reach Bobby, press 1. If you're trying to reach Leandra, press 2. None of that. We answer the phone. You can't call us too early. You can't call us too late. We answer the phone on the weekends. We answer the phone at night, because we are about helping you grow your business, expand your business. If you don't know where to start, if you're a visionary and you're wanting to start this vision that you have not given birth to yet, give us a call, and we're at tcbcc.org. That's www.tcbcc.org. We can help you get your business off the ground, but the right way. Oftentimes we start our business, maybe a t-shirt business or a boutique or something like that, and you know how to do that. You have the eye for the clothing, or you know what you want to do with the t-shirts, but you don't know the back office. You don't know where to start. You don't know how should I structure my business? Do you have a business plan? Do you because you have to have a plan before you can go to a lender. You have to be able to show the lender, hey, here's my plan. You have to be able to show a lender that you know how to make money. And so it has to start. I mean, if we don't have a plan, we plan to fail. And that is so very, very important. And that's why we see a lot of times small businesses, they pop up, and 6 months later, you don't know what happened to them. Right. They're just, because they didn't know the back office part of it. And so we're here to help you with that. We offer all types of services, mentoring and coaching. We help you with, I always talk about the how to structure your business, because you want to do it right the first time. I didn't do it right the first time. And so I wasted a lot of money because I didn't know. And so that is what is so important to me with businesses that are just getting started, with doing it right the first time. And so that's what we're here to do. And then, of course, we service those companies that are already in business, that are already maybe seasoned in business. We offer procurement opportunities for you. We show you how to get to the money, and that's very, very important. Also with our hub program, and the list just goes on and on and on. Be sure to check us out on our website. And I tell people all the time to make sure you click on our services tab, and make sure you click on our testimonials. You'll get a chance to see in our events. Our website is very, very user friendly. It shows you what we're doing, what we have done, and I always say that our testimonials is like our reviews. And as ladies, that how we love to shop. And if we're shopping online for a particular thing and we're looking at a company that we've never ordered from before, what we're going to do is we're going to go to those reviews. We want to make sure that a size 12 is really a size 12 and not like a Chinese size 12 that might be a size 0. So we're going to check those. We're definitely going to check those reviews. And so I tell people all the time, our reviews are our testimonials, because there are people that are on there that will tell you about how the chamber has helped them, how the chamber has helped them to further their business, and how the chamber has helped them to draw in procurement opportunities and government contracts and all those things. So that's what we do as the chamber. So call us. We are located at 2626 South Loop West, Suite 250 in Houston, Texas. We're located at 2626 South Loop West. That is our headquarters. But we're all over the place. We're in 4 regions in 12 counties. And let me just say real quickly, if you're wondering where we are versus where you are, Region 1 is Harris, Montgomery, and Liberty counties. Region 2 is Galveston. That's Galveston all day. Brazoria and Fort Bend counties. Region 3 is Chambers, Jefferson, and Orange counties. And Region 4 is Jasper, Newton, and Hardin. And we are growing. Four regions in 12 counties. So that's who we are, and that's what we do as far as Tri-County. So now I'm going to get back to our guest. Tell me about if you accept insurances, or you said something about, you mentioned FSA cards. So tell us if you accept insurances, and tell us about the FSA cards.
I accept insurance. Most of my clients that come in are self-pay.
Okay.
But we have different labs that we work with to try to make their blood work a reasonable price,
Okay.
so they can afford it.
Okay.
Try to make sure you get whatever blood panel, thyroids, any blood panel that you need, heart risk factors, anything. If you don't have insurance, we stress it a lot. Sometimes you may don't even have a physician to write those, but you can walk in to me and you can say, hey, I need to get my thyroid checked.
Okay.
And that's the first question that we will ask. Do you have a physician's order? If you don't have a physician order, we do have a lab that we contract with that will actually process your test for a cash price. Or if you did have insurance, we also accept that as well. It would be the same way, but with insurance it's different because you have to have a physician order. But if you don't have insurance, we do still accept you, and we'll be able to still draw your blood for those tests as well. FSA card, it's a card that you get for most likely people with insurance. It's an extra card. I really can't remember. Look, the name of it is on the tip of my tongue.
You know, it's funny. I was trying to think of the name. I have mine in my pocket, right?
But for instance,
like
he has insurance, but that little card that they give you to spend extra cash on by the end of the year, or they take it, and you have to spend that money, you can use that card for your lab services.
So is it like a prepaid card or something?
It's
like they take it out of your check.
They take it out your
Kinda
check.
like it's like how they have health saving plans.
Yes,
it's like
a health
flex.
saving. It's a flex card. That's
federal
what it is.
Or flex or federal. Some one of them.
It's a flex spending account. That's
That's
what
what.
it is. Thank you.
There we go. There we
We
go.
talking about great minds here.
Yeah, there we
right?
go. There we go.
Great
But that's
minds.
what it is.
That's what it is.
We
Okay,
accept the
yeah.
flex spending account as well
Okay.
for you to come and have your blood drawn. For instance, if you go to different other companies, you may walk in and they may ask you for a copay. Well,
Okay.
that card, you can use that card for your copay for your lab work.
Okay.
So that's mainly what we stress about. We stress on that as well for the FSA card. But it's different type of labs. It's different type of programs. No one is never left out when you're getting blood drawn, because there are different programs that you can actually go to, and that goes with the COVID testing. There are different programs you can go to get your COVID testing for free. A lot of people don't know. Right now, everything is free. Vaccinations are free, which we do vaccinations as well. I have a couple of doctors that I work with that I'm able to give. I'm the only one able in my office to give it because I'm certified to do it. But we do as well as that too. I'm also coming on with it's not a boutique, but we service patients with thyroid. Sometimes when you take thyroid medicine, your hair tends to fall out. So now we have wigs and wig installer. We have a wig installer on site.
On site?
Yes, ma'am. That she will actually install your wig for you.
Okay.
Cancer patients, anybody with alopecia, blood work is where we come in at. Wigs, we come in with the wigs as well. But if you want it dyed or cut, installed, we have someone that actually does that as
So
well.
you just a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop for everything. So basically, yes, you can come in, you can get your background check. We're now going to bring on the fingerprint coming soon.
Okay.
Notary services, blood work, we're everything is there.
Right there in Texas
Right there,
City.
one-stop shop.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes.
So, Brandon, tell us, do you accept insurance and the FSA cards? And
No, that's different. That's more so on the medical side. So no,
Okay.
we don't accept insurance. We do accept our forms of Visa, MasterCard, American Express. No.
That's what we do accept,
Yes,
okay?
we accept
Yeah.
I'm joking. But no, unfortunately, with the way our service line works, it's not anything dealing with we would deal with people's insurance or anything like that.
Okay.
So no, we don't do that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, then let's talk about a typical day. What's a typical day for you at BioCity Fingerprinting? What's that like? What is that like?
Oh man, it's I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Talk to me.
It varies. It can be like outside of normal people that may book online or call and book appointments. You know, I might get a spur of the moment where we have like 3 walk-ins at the same time, along with the scheduled people. So we try to work the schedule accordingly and to accommodate people's needs. But that's kind of I want to say as far as the fingerprint people and doing the different things. But I also may get calls from people that are not actually in the city and they need FBI background checks. So I'm able to talk them through the process. We have a way of being able to provide them background checks. I recently just processed someone. This lady was in Poland. She needed a background check for the state of Florida, so I was able to process that for her. A gentleman I just did earlier this week for Canada. Him and his wife, they both need FBI background checks from the United States to apply for their Canada citizenship. So it's so many different things that can be going on in a typical day, and be trying to
Get it all done.
yeah, get it done. Trying to advertise, market. Make phone calls to make sure the staff is okay. It's just a lot of different things, Make sure the QuickBooks is good. Making sure, I'm responding to email inquiries.
Yes.
Just so many different things so a typical day is pretty random. It's just a lot of chaos, but it's worth it.
Absolutely.
And all in all, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Every now and again I get to relax, but for the most part, I work a lot on things to grow the company. So I've been working on different materials that are going to be needed: employee handbooks, job descriptions, reference guides to how to properly fingerprint someone.
Oh, wow.
I'm working on a partner collection program that's coming up soon here to be able to offer other businesses fingerprinting services, under where we're able to provide the equipment for them, because the equipment's a little pricey, so we're able to do that to keep that overhead off of the business and be able to still offer the services, and we work out an agreement where it's beneficial for both of us. So I'm just constantly working on so many different things at the time that like I say, a typical day is not really a typical day, because it can kind of.
So like
I hope I
day-
answered your question. I
Yeah,
don't know
you did.
that,
But what I'm getting out of that is no day is a normal day. I mean, or not a normal day, but no day is the same.
Right, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, not at all. I might get a call. Hey, we need you in Odessa. Oh, okay, I'm coming. Okay, we need Brownsville. All right. So I had a list. Hey, tomorrow I'm gonna be gone. Just make sure y'all take care of everything.
Yeah.
If you need something, just give me a call. But I'll be on the road. So.
How awesome is that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a typical day for me.
Yeah. I bet.
One moment I could be sitting in the office and nothing. Next moment, that phone ring. I'm needed here, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And so it just varies. And sometimes I could be in the office, and I forgot to mention we do CPR training too.
Okay. Okay.
And lately it's been that way. I could be in the office, and we could be drawing, and I can get a phone call. Hey, are you able to come to my center, or are you able to come to my facility? We need a CPR training done. Yes. Or it just varies. So it's the same way as branding. You can be sitting down and having a normal day, and now the phone ring, it's time to go.
Showtime.
So I tell the girls, hey,
Yes.
I'm on the road. Both phones are on. If I can't be reached by one, you can reach me by the other.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I hear you say, Rhonda, that the fingerprinting is coming soon, and that's already something that's in the works. What do you see RGTC in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, hopefully there will be different locations. Right now, I am working with different ladies, like the state of Louisiana. I work with ladies there, state of Florida, New York. So we're basically expanding with drug testing and mobile lab to just make sure we can be reached anywhere, especially the drug testing. Going back to that, and I stress it so much because truck driver may be in New York, and I may get a phone call from that company, and they may ask, do you have someone in New York? I want to be able to say, yes, I have someone in New York. Where are you located at? We're ready to go.
Yes.
Because, again, when you do drug testing, you get those phone calls in the wee hours of the night. Companies do call, so we have to get up out the bed sometimes and go and service those truckers that need that drug testing or that breathalyzer test done. Yes, so that business is very critical when it comes down to that. So any time of the night.
Okay. So it's like an on call.
It's on. Yeah. We take on calls.
You have to be available.
You have to be available. Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
So yes.
So would you say with all of the services that you provide and offer that the drug testing is the one that keeps you the busiest, or that there's just mostly a demand for with your company?
With my company, since it's more based with drug testing, yes.
Okay.
I offer the other services more because phlebotomy is actually what I love to do. So I didn't want to leave something that you love to do out versus something that I like to do, which I love it still. But I started out just a basic secretary and a substitute teacher. Yeah. So getting in the medical field, my mom was a nurse.
Okay.
I didn't have a choice.
Okay.
And I would have to go to the hospital with her on my summers and work. I wasn't the normal kid that got to sit outside in the summertime. So hospital was all I knew.
Okay.
And getting into the phlebotomy, it was actually a class that was just taken up on me during the summertime when school was out and I wasn't teaching. So I just went and took the class.
See, that was my question. And I'm just loving how this is just easing into that.
I just went and took the class with two of my friend girls that are actually school teachers still right to this day.
Okay.
And I love it.
So that's kind of where you got your start, right?
That's where I got my start.
That was like the baby.
That was the baby. That was the baby of it. Just something you wouldn't have never thought that you would be doing. Because my aunt actually worked in the hospital. My family is mostly medical.
Okay.
And I tried to do the opposite. It didn't work.
It's not in your DNA.
It's not in my DNA. It's not in my DNA. And I still got pulled in for something that I just went and took a 3-month class. And again, I do the 3-month classes now. I even have classes that I do in a week.
Let's talk about that. Talk about that, because I got a phone call. I'm not going to share our first conversation, but through a mutual friend that is taking your course.
Yes.
So tell me what that is like. Phlebotomy training.
Phlebotomy training, it can be difficult, and it can be fun.
I don't know about the fun part. But
it can be
fun if you stick in me.
And that goes back to me. I do not like to be stuck.
Okay.
And that's something I stress and I tell anyone that's taking my class, you will not stick me.
Okay.
But it's the technique of it. And I try to express it all the time. If you got that soft hand and that technique of that flow, you got it. And it's just like sewing. If you know how to put a needle in with that thread, if you know how to thread that needle, you can guide that needle to stick my vein. And I have horrible veins, but everybody loves these hands, but you're not going there. But it's the art of it, and I think that's what made me fall in love with it. Just the art of doing it, and the art of me knowing different types of tests, different types, how your blood can be one color coming out versus out of your, and I want to say coming out your vein versus when you just, the process of it, spinning it down, it's turning a different color. It's amazing how that process goes. So that's what actually made me just get into it as far as the phlebotomy training session. The book that we have to teach out of, or the curriculum that we teach out of, that's a 458-page book. But if you have been in the field for so long, your techniques of ways of doing things and the process that you do it, your students, they're gonna focus on the book, but that book is boring. And I hate to say it, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is, but they remember the things that I say. They remember the techniques that we do, and I have no issues. I haven't had anyone just basically fail their test or had a low score on their national exam when they take it. Most of my students are 98% and above by the time they finish.
That is awesome.
Even students that come to me that you would think
are terrible.
Those be the main ones when I and it's amazing when I hear that email and it chimes and they let me know that they have passed it, and you look at the score. It's amazing because that's something that I did. That's my effect that I had on them. So it's no words can explain.
It gives you a real rush.
Yes,
right there,
yes, it does. And a lot of
accomplishment.
people are scared because when you say needle, and I know we all we have experienced it with that bad blood draw. But it's the art of doing it, making sure your tourniquet is tight, making sure your patient is hydrated. If you don't know these things, and someone, because I know our doctors have always told us fast before you go get your blood drawn. No, don't drink anything. Don't eat anything. You can drink water.
Okay.
You have to be hydrated, because if you're not hydrated, that vein is not going to flow. That blood is not going to come out that vein. So it's just the art of it. I can go on and on and on about it.
I can tell that's your love.
That's my love
and
for
your
it,
passion.
and my passion for it. When I got into the drug testing part, it was more so something that was extra.
Okay.
That was thrown up on me through one of my employers that I had, and I was like, okay, this could be cool too, and it means a lot. I mean, but dealing with different types of drug testing, because in my mind, drug testing was just basically with urine.
Okay.
Now that I'm in it, we saliva, blood, urine. I mean,
What I used to have.
Well, yeah,
hair
that
follicles,
was my next thing.
right? Hair follicles, nail follicles. Is different ways you can do drug testing besides just urine, because everybody always think it's just urine only, but it's different techniques to that too. So I was like, well, hey, let's start this too and add to this, and bam, here we are.
And just grow.
And it just grow.
Yeah.
Just grow.
What about you, Brandon? Where do you see Bayou City fingerprinting? I mean, you've already expanded to your second location.
Yes, ma'am.
So where do you see Bayou City fingerprinting in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, well, I plan for us to have a few more locations within Houston, but also be expanded.
A few more, he said.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm like I say, I'm putting in a lot of hard work, so not for it to, like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know. So throughout Houston, expanding, having some locations already in Austin and San Antonio as well.
Okay.
And then having some partner collection sites, probably spread out, hopefully in some other states, too. Hopefully at that point, like I said, I have some ideas. I don't want to share too
of
much.
course, of
But
course,
you know,
of course.
doing some things hopefully with the state. You know, the state right now has a sole vendor for fingerprinting. You know, I would like to be able to provide some state fingerprinting services, not trying to take away the contract, but to be able to be a part of it in some type of way. But not only for myself, but for other small fingerprinting companies too.
Right.
You know, to give us that opportunity. So, in 5 years, I hope to have enough backing behind me to where we are at that point of being able to offer some state-based background checks, along with having a full team. I want to be able to employ people. You know, to be able to create some jobs for them and to be able to take care of their families. And I want to be able to offer insurance. So hopefully at that time we'll be able to have those things in place to be able to offer that to employees and staff, as well as having a footprint on Texas and then moving in other states. You know, so that's also in some international things too. We want to start tapping into by that time, hopefully. So that's kind of 5 years. That's what I see us.
That's pretty exciting. Is there anything that you would like to add that we hadn't talked about? Because we only want to talk about the like one of my great godchildren has this thing where he says, I don't want to talk about the bad things. You know, like children that get in trouble. I don't want to talk about the bad things. But we talk about, is there anything that you would like to talk about that we haven't covered already, that you want our listeners and our viewers to know about what you guys do? Because you've covered some really good stuff here today, and it's exciting to me to just listen to it, because I've learned. You know, I've learned so much. What about, I know I wanted to ask, what about the turnaround time with the testing? Like if I come in and get tested today, drug tested. If I come in and get drug tested today, what is the turnaround time for my results?
My turnaround time is usually between 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
It just counts on which lab it's sent to, because we have different labs. Some companies may want theirs to go to Quest, or they may want it to go to LabCorp, or I have clinical reference lab. It just counts on the lab that it goes to, and it gives me the turnaround time. I mean, not gives me the turnaround time, but those are the days. Is usually between the 3 to 5 day period. So.
Okay. So Brandon, tell us about the fingerprinting process. What's the fingerprinting process like?
So it depends. Well, I guess the basics. So I just start with like your traditional ink. So of course you have the FBI FD 258 cards. That's the U.S. standard. Okay. So we keep those in stock, and so we also have ink. So if someone wants to do the traditional ink fingerprinting, you know, they come in, they show us ID. We always want to check to make sure that their ID is valid and unexpired. Once that takes place, we have a little sheet for them to fill out, and then we get to rolling. So the process, you know, it only takes about maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on if you're doing 1 or 2 or more cards at the same time. But it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of dip the finger in the ink and then you roll it. It is a little technique to it, of course. Different people have different ways they like to fingerprint, whatever is best for them. I guess the key though would be is to, a lot of people when we do fingerprint you, they want to help us.
Right.
You mean like the person that's being fingerprinted?
Right. They want to help. So
you talking about me now.
You know, you're coming for us to roll your fingers, so
right.
you know, just let us roll it.
Yeah.
You know, we like help, just not doing that process.
Okay.
And so, like I say, we just try to make sure we get the clearest captures possible when we're doing traditional ink. Now we also do live scan, which is what we have. The electronic device is a live scan machine, and it captures your fingerprint electronically as we're rolling it on the surface. And then once it's captured, then we're able to print it out on the hard card if you need it that way, or we can submit it directly to the FBI. We can submit it to FINRA. We also can submit it to Florida, so we can do Florida state-based background checks. So any type of licensure for the state of Florida, we can send it directly electronically to them, and the results that we're able to get results from the Florida live scan submissions within It's usually processed within 24 hours at the
Okay.
department, at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and then it's sent to whatever agency you're requesting your licensure through. For FBI background checks, we tell people 4 to 24 hours that you get that back via an electronic copy. If you need a tamper-proof copy via mail, then that would take a little bit longer based on your shipping preference. But I've had people get the FBI background checks within 20 minutes.
Wow.
You know, like, so it all depends on how many are being processed at that time. But you can get them as quickly as that. And then as far as for the employment and tenant screenings, those can take between 2 to 4 days, depending on the type of screening that you want performed on that particular employee. So we try to make sure we have pretty much fast turnaround times. You know, usually, like I say, within 24 hours for certain things. It depends on the background check performed, essentially. The background check turnaround time, but definitely less than a week.
You know, that's pretty impressive. I think you had me early when you said the FBI thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And I'm, you
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
and
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
just like, so the FBI.
Mhm.
That's serious. I mean, I
Yeah.
know that the fingerprinting and the drug testing and all that all those things are very, very important. But the FBI?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, when you want to get a background check, you want to go directly to the source. So they, you know, they have a database that comprises of fingerprints from everywhere in the United States and territories. So, you know, we can go and get it. It runs through the CJIS system and get the results back. It's funny. I never thought I would be doing this, but
Right.
you know, my cousin, he likes to call me the snitch. I'm like, come on, dude, you know. but no, just joking aside, you know, it's something that I think is very rewarding for myself, like how she's able to see the people to get their
Yes.
results on their tests, you know, for us to be able to get people to be able to get the results so they can be employed, or certain people, you know, a lot of people, they need to do visas, and so we can
Right.
and they need FBI background checks to apply for the visas. And some of them also need apostille services, which is something that we do in addition to the FBI background
that?
check. So I want to say, like, please forgive me for the year, maybe in 1964, 65, something like that, there was a Hague Convention. And at the convention, many countries throughout the world met together and said, if we're accepting legal documents from your country to make sure that they are valid, it has to be apostille. So it's like a special seal that comes from the Office of Authentication in Washington, D.C. And so we're able to send that report there. Now, they do have state departments that can do apostilles too, but since the FBI background check is a federal entity, it has to go to another federal entity to have that apostille to make sure this that is an authenticated document.
Okay.
So we're able to do that service for people as well to help them to expedite that service for them so they can get that taken care of, so they can apply for work visas or maybe for an adoption or different things like that to go along with their FBI background check.
Wow, that is so impressive. And you talk about your cousin calling you the snitch jokingly, but how did you get into? I know we talked earlier about going to New York and all that, but was there something other than destiny, you know, for you to do it? And I hear your passion, just like with Rhonda,
yes,
when
ma'am.
she's talking about that phlebotomy stuff
Yeah.
and all those, and sticking you and the art. It's
The
an
art
it's an
of it.
art
Yeah,
of
it's
it,
an art.
you know. And I'm thinking, yes, an art for you, but you're sticking me, you know. But how did you, or did you ever think that you would be here? I mean, even with just doing your research and just saying, let me just dig into this a little bit, you know, to see, but then to look at from that point to where you are now, did you ever think or imagine?
No, I really didn't. Honestly, how I really came into the business.
Come on, give us the.
So I got fingerprinted a few times.
Okay.
I'm actually was in the healthcare field too. I'm an
Okay.
X-ray tech.
Okay.
Previously.
Ah.
So I had to get fingered a few times. I just went to like post-ship place. Now, mind you, my sister, she's already had a business,
Right.
tax preparation and bookkeeping
Right.
and stuff.
Right.
And I told her, I said, I think this would be a great savers line to add to your business. Now, I had already been trying to do some different things with business. I invested in one business before. It didn't work out. Like you say, things don't last.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't ready. I didn't do my
Right.
research
Right.
prior to that, proper
Mhm.
research and having
Okay.
everything in place. And so she was like, nah, you do it. And I was like, all right, cool. So I started going from there, researching more, trying to applied for different partnerships with companies, got turned down 3, 4, maybe 5 times from different companies, and we were able to. My sister, she actually found a company I partnered with, and it's been on since then. But it was really, I guess, the no's that made it worthwhile for the yes.
Yes.
So ever since that day of, like I say, saying, okay, I'm gonna do these services, I'm gonna research these services, and I'm gonna start offering the services.
Mm-hmm.
I can never imagine the different days that I've had since that day. I've gotten different phone calls. I've met certain people. I'm on a radio show today. I didn't, like this is, I'm for real. Like I didn't think that this could happen. I've always been a hard worker. I've worked hard for different hospitals and different companies, and I've always been told I was a good worker. But to be able to say you putting that same work for yourself and then being able to see the results from it it's been nothing but a blessing. So I just take it in, appreciate it, and just keep working hard and hopefully keep meeting new people and networking and doing great things. So
that is amazing. It has been time well spent here today on our Let's Talk Business podcast with Tri-County Regional's Let's Talk Business podcast, and I have met our special guest, and now they're my friends, and we're co-chamber members and all those things, and so I am just so grateful to know you guys and to know that your businesses are here. And so now even with our listeners and our viewers, they know where to find you. They know that you exist from Katy to the River Oaks area to Texas City. They are here for you. We're here for you. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for you. So we do realize that these services are very much needed, and so if you're needing their services, please go to. You can find them on their websites at BayouCityFingerprinting.com and also RGTCMobileLabServices.com. Did I say it right, Rhonda?
MobileLabService.com.
Mobile Lab Service. No S.
No S.
No S. Mobile RGTCMobileLabService.com. And Rhonda is located in Texas City. And Brandon is located in Katy and in the River Oaks area. So if you are needing fingerprinting, if you're needing drug testing, if you're aspiring to be a phlebotomist, Rhonda offers training in the area. If you're needing mobile services, if you're needing their mobile services, if you're needing notary service, and the list just goes on and on. The other thing with the wig thing,
yes.
Okay. So please check them out. It has truly been an interesting hour, and like I said earlier, time well spent. So I think that for as much as I've learned, I'm sure that if you're driving in the car or you're sitting at home, you've learned as well. So be sure to check out Bayou City Fingerprinting and RGTC Mobile Lab Service. So we want to thank you, and we are winding down, and we're just about out of time. We wanted to thank our special guests. Thank you guys for coming on board and sharing their valuable information with us. And lastly, we want to tell you that if you're looking for a chamber, if you're in need of a chamber that can guide and provide you with the things that you need to get your business off the ground, go to tcbcc.org. That's www.tcbcc.org. And also, if you're looking for commercial services for your business, marketing for your business, be sure to check out GMT Radio. That's www.gmtradio.com, and NICE will take care of you. So thank you guys for listening. It has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure sitting on the panel with you guys. And we'll see you soon, and thank you guys for watching.